Okay, so welcome along to our short series. Now we've gone a bit gonzo here, so if the camera twitches, that's Rich and his shakes, but he's getting over the drugs, so he should be okay. And what I'm going to do in this very short and sweet video is just give you a little pictorial representation of what a free radical is. We talk a lot about free radicals and antioxidants, so I thought I'd give you a layperson's view of a free radical. So what I've drawn up here, if you want to imagine, is a whole bunch of atoms which are all around us as we speak.
That one there is the reflection from the light behind me. It's not an atom.
Oh right, okay.
It's on the
That's
camera.
your pointing, because I can't see what you're pointing at. Right, so around our atoms we would have electrons in orbit. I'll just stand this side. Right, so they'll be paired up. So 2, 4, 6. Because everything in nature is all about balance. Well, should be. So when you look at some people's diets, it's not very balanced, but that's a whole nother.
When you're trying to find out if someone's
a whole nother video. Right, so these are our electrons, and they're in orbit. So a bit like the moon orbit, we orbit around the sun. Very similar with our electrons. They're balanced up. They've all got a slight charge on them. In the case of electrons, a negative charge, and so they're in orbit, and these orbits, if you want the technical term, is a valency. So they're there, everybody's hunky-dory, everybody's happy, and now we start to exercise, so we excite our atoms. They all get jiggling about because we're getting warm, we're producing heat, and so everything starts to move. And what can happen theoretically is one of these electrons can get bounced out of its orbit, and so what happens at this point, they're all excited, everything's moving around, and suddenly this one gets bounced out of its orbit. Now that is your free radical. The term comes from the fact it's been freed from its orbit, and if you look up the term radical, it means kind of works on its own, stands out, whatever, and so that's what the term free radical actually means. You'll also see these referred to as radical oxygen species, but we'll stick with free radical for ease of understanding. The thing about this electron is it doesn't like being out there on its own, and so what it's going to do is it's going to try and pair up. It's kind of, look, I don't want to be out here alone, I'm getting lonely, so I want to join up with someone. So what it says is, it says, do you know what, why don't you come and join me?
Had enough of this single life.
Exactly.
Could start our own
dating.com for electrons.
Start our own orbit.
And so they pair up, and now these two are happy, and they will now orbit at what we would call a higher valency, but they're paired. Problem with that is that was this one's partner, and now this one's feeling quite lonely, and it says, well, I'm not very happy about this, I'm stuck here on my own. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take somebody else, and so it pulls one over there, and so now that one's paired up and that one's happy. That was this one's partner, and that one's like, well, I'm not having that. I need a partner as well.
It's the scandalous world of electron microscopy. And
you didn't know this was going on all around you, so the next time you go exercising, just remember what you're doing to your electrons. And so that pairs up. And so that's going on. So you can see what's theoretically happened is we've produced our free radical, and it's now created this chain reaction. And it's this type of chain reaction that can cause lipid peroxidation, damaging DNA, so hence the links with cancer and so on. One of the things you do when you smoke, you directly introduce free radicals into the lungs, which is most probably why there's the tie-in with lung cancer. That's most probably a gross oversimplification, but nonetheless theoretical. So the body's got a defence mechanism against all this, and our defence mechanism is the antioxidant system. And so if you've got all your right vitamins and minerals in your diet, you produce your antioxidant enzymes, and so unfortunately it's just the way my brain works, but I always like to think of my antioxidants as Pac-Man, and so my Pac-Man's sitting there, and the minute my free radical appears, it goes, do you know what, before you cause me any trouble, I'm going to get rid of you. And our antioxidants are a use once, throw it away deal. So providing you get plenty in your diet, you'll produce enough enzymes, the enzymes mop up the free radicals, and we all live happily ever after. And that, in a nutshell, or an electron shell, is
Physics.
Free radicals.
Nice. There you go.